to get ready to like use the mic.
Yeah.
Just like, oh, wait a minute.
This is gonna be a lot easier. I forgot about these.
All right, is it cool if I just turn it? Because I have the,
Totally.
need to pull the outline up.
Totally.
Cool.
I mean, I could take a pinky, but not a whole dick.
All right, welcome back to Not From Boston. I'm Bennett.
I'm Harold.
And man, it's really been a long week for the Red Sox.
Bad.
And
Bad.
it's been
Bad.
bad.
It could have been great. It
Yeah.
could have been great, and it really wasn't.
So-
I feel like we were in the midst of Toronto last week when we recorded, and everything
Yeah.
kind of spun on its head.
In fact, we recorded last week, and we finished recording our episode, and when we finished recording, the Red Sox were winning, and they lost that game.
Yes.
Yeah, so, I guess in the week since, the Red Sox have lost 2 out of 3 to the Blue Jays after taking a 6-run lead last Wednesday.
Doing there? Get out of here.
They gave up 3 runs in the 6th and then 3 in the 7th to lose 7-6, and then they lost the next game too by giving up 4 runs after taking a 2-0 lead in the 5th. The Red Sox then lost 2 out of 3 to the Minnesota Twins. We won game 1, but at what cost? Triston Casas goes down for a season-ending knee injury.
Unbelievable.
The Red Sox combined for 4 doubles, and Brian Bayo continues to be an absolute stud.
Yeah.
The Red Sox then lost game 2 4-3, and the series finale 5-4. Then the Red Sox have started a 3-game set with the Rangers on Tuesday. They lost game 1 6-1. Lucas Giolito gave up 10 hits and 6 runs in just 3 2/3 innings.
Yep.
But the Red Sox won game 2 today, which is really nice. So the Red Sox are, as of now, 19-19. They're in second place in the AL East, 2 games behind the Yankees. Harry, the first note I got here in our outline is, what the fuck is going on?
I just am like hearing that back, and I'm just feeling so disappointed at so this whole week for me in sports has been fucking brutal.
Yeah, no.
Brutal.
So true.
So I mentioned on the pod, I'm a big Arsenal fan. Arsenal was in the Champions League semifinal this week and lost at home to PSG, Paris, and then lost today away, and they're eliminated now. So their season's
fuck.
over.
Oh, I'm sorry, that
The
sucks.
Celtics, who are my NBA team, obviously, had 2 20-point leads in their last 2 games and blew the fucking leads and lost to the Knicks at home. So they're down 2-0 or 0-2 going to New York. And the Red Sox, in similar fashion, have been playing fantastic baseball until the 7th inning of basically every game they play in,
Yeah,
and then
pretty
fucking pooping all over the field and walking away. So I don't really know what to make of this. But I just think that what I'm picking up and what's unfortunate is this is reminding me of a lot of Red Sox seasons past. And this is a thing for a lot of major league teams. I don't trust the bullpen.
Yeah.
So anytime we get to the 6th, 7th inning and the starter comes out, I'm like, oh, here comes the knot in my stomach. Fuck.
I think, first I'll say, yesterday I was with some friends of ours, and we were just hanging out and we were playing pool, and I was total shit at pool, in part because I was so distracted by how angry I was with how the Red Sox have been doing.
Yesterday was
they were like, "Benno, what's taking you away from this?" And I was just thinking, because the Red Sox don't know how to fucking play baseball anymore. It's driving me crazy.
Yeah.
I think my issues with this team, and there are many right now, actually I don't think have to do with any of the players. It is all management and front office. I don't understand what they're doing. And we'll kind of get
into that for sure. I mean, it's definitely confusing. I think there's so many guys that need to be a part of this team now that are not, and I'm sure we'll name several, but it doesn't make sense.
I want to do just a quick run through because you mentioned the bullpen, but I want to talk about them in a second. The first thing is I'm really worried about Lucas Giolito. I mean, he did really well in his first start, but then in his second start yesterday, he threw 74 pitches. 45 were four-seam fastballs, 27 were changeups. He threw 1 curveball and 1 slider the whole game against a team that has a 34% chase rate, the highest in baseball. That's a bad game plan, period.
Yeah.
For a team that will swing at almost anything to not throw more breaking pitches that'll get them to chase out of the zone, I just don't get it. Of course they're going to mash the fastballs and the changeups.
Right. My only potential caveat to that is do you think that's he's still easing his way back in thing? Is he not? Maybe he's less comfortable throwing the breaking stuff with the hanging arm action.
Maybe, but I mean, he didn't have that problem against the Blue Jays.
Right, and also,
he was raining too during this game.
I asked that question with my response in mind already.
Yeah.
My response being, if you can't throw a curveball, you're not ready to be back in the major leagues yet.
Yeah, I don't know what the plan what they thought the plan was there. I think there's no version of that plan that is a good plan. Like,
Yeah.
I think relying on like the two most common pitches for guys to hit is like never a good strategy.
Throwing it's not like his four seam is 103.
Yeah.
Like,
no, I mean his velo was actually way down.
Yeah.
So it was just not a good pitch mix from Giolito really at all. In terms of hitting, we've been kind of quiet. Campbell, I mean, this is all not including the numbers from today's game, but Campbell going into today's game was 1 for 12. Abreu was 5 for 26. Rafaela 3 for 17. Duran 6 for 27. Like, there's not a lot happening offensively, which is like a big part of the problem when we have a top 10 offense, and that is how we are. We have to score runs to win games, and we're not doing that. We're also letting runs in.
Yeah.
I did look at the last 5 games of each kind of major bullpen player, and I was actually surprised. So in his last 5 games, he's thrown 5 1/3 innings. Greg Weissert's given up 4 hits, but he's given up 0 runs. Bernardino over 4 2/3 has given up 6 hits and 3 runs. That's not great. He has struck out 7 guys, which is better. Justin Slayton similarly has been rocky over 4 innings, 7 hits and 6 runs, and 4 walks. I mean, the thing is, like, I think we put a lot on Justin Slayton's shoulders, and like, it's a long season. He's allowed to have bad days. It's just this is a really bad time to have a really bad run.
Yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate too that we talked about this with Chicago, but like Minnesota is kind of looking at a team that I now will look back on in August, September, and be like, "Fuck, bro."
Absolutely.
Like, we really should have not only not lost the series, but like we should have swept that series.
We should have swept that series.
Like those 3 extra losses in Chicago and the one at Fenway, 2 losses at Fenway against Minnesota. Like you're going to look back and be like, dude, what the fuck?
Yeah. And then Garrett Whitlock, over his last 8 innings, he's given up 8 hits and 5 runs.
Tough.
Garrett Whitlock, I think guys on Nesson were making this point. Jared Carrabis was making this point on Section 10. Whitlock is not a 2-inning guy anymore, I don't think. Or at least right now he's not. He's a 1-inning guy. And I think, we need to kind of recalibrate the bullpen for that. The last kind of big piece of news before we get into the big piece of news is Walker Buehler's on the 15-day IL with shoulder inflammation.
Yeah, that's when that news broke, it was scary. Like he was back getting scans in Boston, and it was kind of a mystery for like 24 hours, like what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
It sounds like it's, if anything, more preventative than not.
Which I am totally cool with this organization doing. I think Buehler said, like, if this were October, this wouldn't even be a conversation. He'd be pitching, and I think that all makes sense. He's going to miss 3 starts. I think by the time this episode is out, he'll have 2 starts left to miss.
Yeah, we do have a decent bevy of starting pitchers to choose from, so it's not, of all the places to lose somebody, that's not the end of the world.
Because I still like Dobbins, even though he lost.
He's great.
His last start, I wasn't really on him, and Fitz will be back soon.
Yep.
And so I feel good about that. Bayo, I think,
Bayo's
again,
been great.
I'm really high on Bayo.
What was his line in his last start, Bayo?
His last start was he had 4 hits, 1 run, 1 walk, and 5 Ks over 6 and 2/3.
How many runs?
1.
Bro, so he's got 3 quality starts under his belt in his first start. Yeah, so like he's looking like the guy we actually thought he was.
He has I think it's a sub-2 ERA, or not sub-2, sorry, a sub-3 ERA for the first time in his career.
Yeah, love it.
It's great, and I'm really happy to have him here. Also, I didn't talk about this in the rundown, but Garrett Crochet taking a ball off the face and then being just fine.
Crazy.
Thank God, because I don't think I could handle losing Garrett Crochet.
Nah, he's a madman though.
Yeah.
That's like he's built different.
He is, yeah. You want to get into the big one?
Casas is done for the season, and I hate to say this, and I've been trying to be better about not being so pessimistic, but I don't think he's going to be our first baseman anymore.
Wow, so we're just going right for the jugular. I mean, I thought we were going to build up to the bad news.
To me, I'm just like, let's just address the elephant in the room.
He ruptured his. So for
those who don't know, he left his patellar tendon.
Yeah, he ruptured his left patellar tendon. He had surgery on Monday. Recovery is going okay. He's in a lot of pain. He's not sleeping great, apparently, which again, like, really sucks. He'll be out for the rest of 2025. There's today there was some floating of the idea that he might maybe be ready for spring training of 2026, but I would doubt that. This is like a career-ending injury for a lot of people. And I think the surgeon said that this was not the worst of this injury could be.
Yeah.
but it's still a really bad injury to have.
Yeah, I mean, baseball, the mechanics of baseball are so intricate. We were literally talking about this. So I woke up this morning and I worked out before my meetings for work this morning, and I fucking popped my groin. Mild groin strain, nothing crazy. And I'm like, shit, I'm going to miss all my softball games for 2 weeks now.
Yeah.
Because, we were just talking about it before we got on camera, swinging a bat is not a linear motion.
No.
It's not like, I'm going to take a step and swing my arms, and the bat's going to... No, like, your entire body is corking and uncorking, especially with your... It was his right knee or his left knee?
It was his left knee.
So his back knee, as a left-handed hitter, forget that. You load all of your weight onto your back knee and uncork it.
Yeah.
He's not going to be able to swing a bat until, like, April of next year.
It really sucks because obviously it sucks for anyone to have this kind of injury. It really sucks for Triston Casas, I think, because he's like, this year was supposed to be his bounce back year from being injured last year.
It's a shame, man.
And this was a total freak injury. Like, it just happened.
Yeah, he just ran over first base.
It's clear like how much like this game is important to him, how much he loves being on the team, even though he's been slumping. Like how important being a Red Sox player is to him, and so I just like it really breaks my heart that this is how it's going for him. And then I think at the same time, because you got to hold two thoughts in your head at the same time, is like I'm with you. Like I don't see a future Red Sox roster where Triston Casas is the starting first baseman.
No, and let me make my feeling. The reason I let off with that is not because I'm like, let's just go right for the jugular and baseball's a business at all. I love Triston Casas. Mm-hmm. I said a couple weeks ago when he was slumping, everybody needs to get off his fucking back because I think he's a great player. I hope that he is the future first baseman of this team. I like his attitude. I like the way he plays the game. He knows baseball. Yeah. Like watching the documentary is like, oh, this guy like, he's thinking about baseball all the time. Like that's my kind of player. I don't want a fucking Anthony Rendon. You know what I mean? Like, however, we have an unusual situation, although we'll talk about Gonzalez now, but we have an unusual situation with first base being it is a more learnable position. Mm-hmm. And we have guys that have played major league innings at first base, and we also have Roman Anthony.
We also have Raffy Devers.
That's what I'm saying. Like, we have guys that can fill that position.
Yeah.
And we have guys that are hitting well at the major league level that can fill that position.
The thing that I'm worried about is for Craig Breslow and Alex Cora to take the approach with first base that they took with shortstop the last 2 years when Trevor Story got hurt, which is we just need to fill this void until he's back. Triston Casas may not be back.
Yeah.
Like, that's just a fact of the matter with this injury is he may not ever fully recover. He may not be the player we need him to be. The window for us is clearly open right now to compete. We'll debate that in a second, but like this is not a time. This is not. We can't wait for Triston Casas to maybe be healthy. We have to find a new first baseman that can be productive the way he can, and we have to keep going. Like we can't just hold a spot for him.
Yeah.
Right now, which is really sad, but it's just the truth. This is what the game is.
It's horrible. I mean, it is the hard truth of baseball. It's like, what's the line in Moneyball? There's a time where you're told you can't play the kids game anymore.
Yeah,
and it's like, this is one of those things that happens. Like and I'm not saying that is definitely the case with Casas at all, but for this year, it's like, okay, we're on the precipice of dipping into like, it's getting bad territory here. So like, we got to fill this void fast, you know?
Also, I think like if you went to Triston Casas and were like, we're going to hold this spot for you, we're going to have like Roman Anthony in a minor leaguer like alternate to hold this position for you. Even if it costs us wins, Triston Casas is going to be like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Go to the fucking playoffs.
I want you guys to win this World Series. Like,
go to the playoffs.
That's not his like, Triston Casas is not putting himself above this team when it comes to winning games. So in the meantime, or at least for now, what we hope is kind of a temporary fix. The Red Sox will fill the whole Casas left behind with Romy Gonzalez, who
got injured today.
But he stayed in the game.
Okay.
But who has played well, but is not a starter. And Abraham Toro, who they've called up from AAA.
That was the more surprising of the two. That was a bit of a shock.
So Toro's done well with the Woo Sox. He's hit,
But he's like been in Major League Baseball for like, 6 seasons? Like he's been kind of like around and he's never been great.
Yeah, the hope is I think that his progress, his performance in Worcester translates to Boston.
But what
we'll
are we...
see.
What are we doing?
I
Like,
agree.
come on, dude.
And then Romy Gonzalez is, I always keep calling him Roman Anthony. It's not, That's not who it is. Romy Gonzalez is also hitting well. He's, 327 batting average, 831
I'd rather
OPS.
commit to him and say, we're not going to platoon you. You're the starting first baseman. But there's a Raffy Devers-sized hole that could be filled there.
That's the last thing is that,
they said
Raffy Devers has not been approached to play first.
But Cora said like 3 days ago, they asked him in the media, I don't remember who it was who asked him, but he said, like, that's not something we've ruled out.
Yeah, but he also, I think also when he was asked, have you had that conversation with Raffy? He said, no. Are you going to have that conversation? No. I'm like, what do you mean no? Like,
this is like,
you have to consider.
It's giving me a little bit of like, there was a soccer time, but there was a major breaking story several years ago, right before the World Cup in 2022, when Manchester United, who's like one of the big clubs in Europe, they've been really bad the last few years. They had this new coach. He was this like disciplinarian, really intense. And they had Cristiano Ronaldo, who had just come off a 20-goal season. And, it's Cristiano Ronaldo. He's at the end of his years. He was kind of slowing down, but still capable of scoring goals. And I am not a Ronaldo fan. Let me just, I think he's a douchebag. But great player, but total douchebag. I remember it was, like, really strange. There was some issue where he felt like he was being used incorrectly, and he got into it with the coach. And then all of a sudden, it was like, boom, you're done. You're not playing there anymore. That's it. You're gone. Like, they immediately transferred him to a Saudi club. Like, it was... And I felt like, yes, Ronaldo has disciplinary issues to a degree because he's really full of himself. However, what's the best decision for the team? Is getting Ronaldo off the team, which Manchester United has been terrible since, and they ended up firing that coach like 2 years later. So was that actually the best move for your club? Or was that like I said I'm going to do this thing, so I have to stick to it now?
Yeah.
And it's giving me a little bit of that with Raffy Devers. It's like,
yeah.
Is it really the best thing for the club to not put him at first base? First base can get way less action.
I don't know if it's that the organization's like, well, we told Raffy we didn't want him in the field, so we have to stick to it, or if it's Raffy saying, like, you guys decided you didn't want me to play third, so I guess you don't, like, I'm not going to play anywhere in the field for you guys. I don't know who's being stupid here. I don't know if it's both of them.
Yeah.
They need to cut it out. I think Kevin Millard put this really well yesterday during the broadcast. He was explaining...
He said, we'll take A-Rod. I was kidding.
Kevin Millard, who's played first base for the Sox in 2004, like, he's explaining that, Mookie Betts signed this $300 million deal when he was playing right field for the Dodgers. He's playing second now. He's playing
shortstop. Yeah.
Like Alex Rodriguez signed a $250 million deal. Came to New York, went from shortstop to third. Players move positions all the time. It's because it's what they want to do is they want to win. If the goal is to win, Raffy should have no problem being asked or suggesting he goes to play first base.
Yeah, and you also can't convince me. So are you saying, just before I finish my thought, are you saying that you think it's him making the decision that he doesn't want to play first base, or it's the team, or I guess somewhere in between?
I don't know. I don't know who it is, but I think short of making a big trade for a first baseman outside the organization, which is the only other I think legitimate option.
Who's available? Like Vladdy's not available anymore.
I mean, honestly, like, go to Milwaukee and try and get Reese Hoskins, who's in the last year of his deal.
Yeah, I mean, he's like the only one I can think of. Like,
I mean, truly, I'm not saying the market's great for a first baseman right now.
Like Josh Bell, like that guy's not hitting at all. Right. I mean, it's like.
But I don't think like this patchwork Romy and Toro solution.
Put someone there that you're actually expecting to play there long term. If they said, we believe that Romy Gonzalez is our future first baseman for the end of the season, like, fine, I'll bite. But like, that's not what they're saying.
Also, Lou Merloni, I think, made a really good point as well on the same broadcast, where it was just like, Raffy's fielding isn't, like, his ability with the glove wasn't great at third base, but he's not going to be throwing the ball anywhere at first.
I was just about to say that.
He's going to be catching the ball first. And you know how often the ball gets hit to the first baseman? It's very rare.
I was just about to say, too.
Best case scenario, Raffy is playing catch every day.
Bro, the main thing about first that's hard is defending the bag. But if there's one position, two really, catcher and third baseman, that's the pipeline to first base. Those two positions. You don't see a ton of, like, right fielders suddenly playing first unless they're injured, right?
Yeah.
I don't understand why we're not entertaining this. Raffy's errors, I think I looked this up, 7 of his 12 last year were on throws.
Yeah, I think...
Bro, his throws are terrible from third, so he doesn't have to make the throw anymore.
Absolutely, and, I think there's just... Players make the jump from the hot corner to first base all the time. It's not an uncommon thing. He's got the reaction timing down to make quick plays if he needs to make quick plays.
He'll be fine over there.
It's really not going to be... And honestly, if he makes some errors, holy fucking shit, like that, I'm okay with that.
Well...
Because it means either you activate Masataka Yoshida
and
you make him DH, which he can do. He can't throw. We saw the video this weekend. He cannot throw. That's a legit injury. But he can hit. Or you call up Roman Anthony, which, God fucking damn it, we should have done, a week ago.
Yeah, so that's the thing, what does one error every 25 games cost you?
Right.
If you're bringing up a guy who's going to hit 25 homers through the rest of the season, it's not really, that's pretty exchangeable. It's not a big deal.
I think the thing is the Red Sox need to, not only do they need to fill the gap of who plays first base, but they need to fill the gap in the production that they expected Casas to provide.
Yeah, in the lineup, I know.
And the best way...
Roman Anthony's the easiest
The best way to do that is some combo of Devers goes to first and Masataka Yoshida or Roman Anthony.
Yeah, left-handed bat, capable of hitting the ball gap to gap, capable of hitting home runs, less so Yoshida. But anyway, I think we're on the same page about this. I was very surprised that they called up Abraham Torres. No diss on him again. I hope he does well.
It's just not the move we're supposed to be making.
This is just sort of a it's like putting tape over a hole on a bucket.
Yeah. And I guess this is where I get into I don't know if you looked at our outline today, but I wrote a giant long series of bullet points that just starts with me saying I'm fucking pissed.
Yeah.
And when I wrote that whole thing, I was writing it in Stephen A. Smith's voice.
Yeah.
Because that's how you write when you do an angry sports rant. And I just I really am pissed because I looked this up. At 37 games into a season, the worst any Red Sox team has ever been and made the playoffs is in 2017 when they were 19-18. This Red Sox team was 18.
We're 19-19 now.
They're 19-19 now, but they were 18-19 yesterday. So this Red Sox team so far, if the pattern is to repeat itself, which isn't a guarantee, but if a pattern remains a pattern, this is not a playoff team.
Right.
And we're this late in the season. In 2021, we were winning. We had 22 games that we won. Last year, we had 22 wins by this point in the season. Why does it still feel like I'm living in 2022 or 2023 or 2024?
Yeah, I think it's really frustrating because now, as a fan, it felt easy in specifically 23 and 24. 22, they bought Story. And I was like, hey, you know what? They splashed the cash. He hit a few home runs, and then he went down with an injury. That sucks. It happens. But I can say, what's this guy? They spent 150, 160 on him?
I think it was 140.
140. Okay, so they splashed some cash, though. I can't be upset at ownership. I'm like, look, they made a real effort. This is a playoff team, and they improved it by bringing in a guy who is going to hit a lot of home runs and play great.
Didn't work out.
And he got hurt. That happens. 23 and 24, it's what the fuck are you guys doing? Nothing is happening. This year, they actually did go full throttle.
No.
They really did. And now I'm like, okay, you guys are just fucking it up now on the field.
Right.
What the hell is this?
And I do think it's I don't get the urgency from Alex Cora or Craig Breslow that they need to capitalize on this window being open. The Red Sox are 4-9 in one-run ball games this year. That's the worst in the majors. It's unacceptable. If we win those 9 games, we're 27 and I think at this point, we're 27-10.
Yeah.
We're the best team in baseball. If those one-run games where we lose the lead in the 7th inning or later, if we turn those around, those go the other way, we're a whole other ball club.
Yeah, also, talking about playoffs, if this team is to get to the playoffs and that record somewhat stays consistent, remains consistent, what the fuck playoff games do you think you're going to be winning if you're not winning 1-1 games in the regular season?
Yeah.
Those are tight games. Playoff games are not usually 8-0, 9-0. That doesn't happen that often.
Absolutely. And the thing that really I think that eats at me is this might be, I know that we both have been really optimistic about this. This might be the only year we have Alex Bregman on our roster.
Might be.
And we're going to waste it on a 500 ball club? Are you fucking kidding me?
He's, after today, let me pull up his numbers. He hit another homer today and a massive 2 RBI single.
We don't deserve him right now. It's crazy.
What is going on? Let me look at his actual stat line. It's fucking crazy. He's like his OPS is like way over 1,000. Yeah.
And this is not to say that we have not given up on the Red Sox. We don't think that they're not going to make the playoffs. It's just that to do what they set out to do, to make the playoffs, to win 90 to 95 games, to maybe win the division, the work to get there now is so much harder than it was up to this point.
Right. So now here's the thing. The American League is pretty weak.
It is, and that's the only reason. The fact that we're still in second place this whole time.
Bro, we're still like a game out of the wild card.
It's
at 19 and 19.
Right. And that is like a great solace, but that is not going to last forever. And I don't want to like make the playoffs because the league sucks so bad. I want to bust the door down and just and make waves and get in there on our own.
I mean, really, the AL Central has 3 solid teams. And then the AL West, the Athletics are 20 and 18.
We're gonna get to them later. I made a note of them. They're really good.
They're unreal.
But also, real quick, can I turn on the lights?
Yeah. The overheads.
Yeah.
Back there.
Okay, cool. So yeah, the Central, the Athletics.
I mean, I just think like fortunately, the AL is not that strong. The NL, like we'd be done already. The season's over. Like so we have a fighting chance. But it's like if there's ever a season and an era in baseball, like going back to the worst team the Red Sox have ever had that made the playoffs, they were 19 and 18. That was pre-wild card series and 3 wild cards. So now, like, you have 86 win teams that are getting in the playoffs.
That's true.
You know what I mean? This is a different era.
Yeah.
This league this year, for some reason, the AL is like super wide open and competitive. In a week, we can come back on this podcast next week and be in first place.
That's true. It'd be great if that were the case. It's just, that's not what we've seen so far. So far, we've seen the same team that's played like a slightly better version of the team that has played the last 2 years. I just think with what has happened by losing Casas, I think in a weird way, the baseball gods, like the universe, whatever, are trying to like give us an opportunity. They're trying to tell us something, which is that this is the moment in the season where the Red Sox have to prove that they are serious about winning. And it's, I mean, again, like Casas going down sucks. It's a tragedy. But it's just the reality now.
Yeah.
And we need to fill that hole with an everyday bat. We also need to add another impact reliever, and we need to get Roman Anthony up here. There's a lot to be done. And that's going to require, I think, the Red Sox make difficult decisions and make really painful moves. I mean, honest to God, like, this is going to sound crazy, but I think if a team calls and it's like, we'll give you, the relievers that you want, we'll give you an everyday first baseman that is like a stud, we'll give you what you need. We want Wilyer Abreu. I don't think Craig Breslow can reject it outright. I think he has to entertain any and all moves to make this team better.
Yeah.
To allow for us to have an everyday first base, to have the relievers that we need, and to get Roman Anthony up here.
Yeah. Which is a shame because that's who people are going to ask for.
Right. Well, Roman Anthony's never going anywhere.
No, but I'm talking about Abreu. That's who people are going to ask for.
Yeah. And I don't think Craig Breslow can shoot that down out of hand.
No. Even though he is my favorite player.
Speaking of Roman Anthony, though, like, the other thing, and I was thinking about this before we dip back to 500, which is just unfucking believable. I don't think this Red Sox team finds itself, which is also part of the issue here, is that this team has no identity.
No. I'll push back on you a little bit. I think this team has the hit and run identity, meaning they're extremely aggressive on the bases to a fault. We text each other all the time like, what the fuck are they doing? But they steal a shit ton of bases.
Yeah.
And they do put the ball in play. I know we also strike out a lot, but I think we're a free swinging, free running team.
Right. But I mean, like, culturally, like, as a unit.
Not yet.
Like, you can see it a bit when we're winning, but when we're losing or when it's tight, it's not there. I don't think the Red Sox find that. They don't find that identity until the roster is locked in, and that means Roman Anthony is here playing every day.
Yeah.
Like, until Roman Anthony has a spot on the big league roster, this Red Sox team is going to continue to wander around unsure of, like, what it's supposed to be.
Yeah, because he's going to become a stalwart. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, he's going to be in the lineup every day for the next 6 years
But
or whatever.
also,
So,
like, even beyond all the baseball, like, and this is true for Marcelo Meyer too, Roman Anthony is just a fun guy.
Yeah,
he's cool. He's nice and affable, and he's very charming, and the players love him.
You know what's going to be weird is that he's probably going to come up before Meyer. And like 3 years ago, Meyer was like the -- 1 guy.
I know Meyer's. I mean, it's unlucky because he's been injured.
But he's been good this year too. Yeah.
I mean, his situation is also kind of tough. But I mean, actually, Marcelo Meyer gets solved really easily. Fucking knock David Hamilton back down to AAA. I mean, I really, again, like I said that like so like off the cuff, like I just don't give a shit about David Hamilton. Like he is a person, and I don't want to be a dick to him. But I do think that in terms of what's serving the best needs of the team, he's not doing that.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just very.
I would agree with you.
Exhausting.
I also think we were just talking about this off camera. This is a different position issue, but I really want to see Narvaez be the regular guy behind the dish.
I do too. I think he's a much better catcher.
Bro, and he's a better hitter, I think. I think his numbers don't necessarily say that, but the way he hits, again, if we're talking about identity, like his vision at the plate, his understanding of the strike zone, and his idea. I've seen him like flick the other way. I'm seeing him pull the ball when he needs to pull the ball. Like he's a catcher, man. He knows the game really, really well. He hits like a catcher. I think Wong kind of just like is trying to hack the ball.
Yeah,
which is cool. Like that's cool too. But
Wong is a hitter first, and I don't really think that's like that's not what we need from our catcher.
No, you know why people love Christian Vasquez? Because he came up in moments where he was like, okay, well this guy's probably going to throw me 3 sliders on the outer half of the plate, so I'm going to close up my stance. He's talked about it in interviews.
Yeah.
Like he's hitting like thinking like a catcher.
Yeah.
Like that's an important position. It's very cerebral. Like you're kind of seeing the whole game in front of you. You know.
Yeah. I really like Narvaez a lot.
I'm a huge fan. Just like the weekend.
Good for the clubhouse. And also when he does make contact, he's hitting that ball so hard.
Yeah, no, I think he should be the regular guy. He also, I think we discovered this. He has a slightly faster pop time, to second. Yeah, I mean.
Yeah. So let me ask you this: if Craig Breslow comes to you today and asks for your recommendation, what roster moves are you making right now, or what roster moves are you telling him to make right now?
The first thing I'm doing is the thing we talked about. Devers is playing first base. I'm probably sending. I'm not calling up Abraham Toro at all. Mm-hmm. And he doesn't have options left, I don't think.
I think Toro's up, so you got to DFA him or something.
So then that's what happens. I mean, it sucks, but he gets DFA'd. Devers goes to first base. I'm taking Roman Anthony now. Mm-hmm. Like, I think, what the fuck good is it having him in AAA?
Yeah.
Like, well, he's destroying AAA.
Yeah.
Like, it's like fucking high school pitching for him. Like,
do you start him at DH or
DH? Yeah.
Okay.
DH.
But I think you got to work him in the outfield a lot too, because
certainly.
You don't want him to atrophy.
No, I think if anything, maybe the long-term plan, which sucks because I love Sedan, but maybe the long-term plan is you scoot Duran over to center field and you put Roman Anthony in. But you got to work that in.
I think case in point, like I think in a scenario where Willie Abreu is moved off the team.
Sure.
I think you move Rafaela to right, Duran to center, and Roman Anthony to
left.
Yeah. Because I think like right field is so big in Fenway.
Yeah, you want the speed for sure.
You'll want Rafaela.
That's the thing. That's the thing about Abreu though, is because of his arm strength.
He's a huge asset. But
like,
I mean,
it's probably gonna happen. Yeah.
One of those guys has got to go. And the thing is, like, if it's gonna be sad, but if we get good guys in return, if it makes the team better.
Yeah.
Then we have to go for it. I think it's pretty safe at this point. I mean, fingers crossed that Roman Anthony will produce in a level that is comparable, if not better, than Abreu.
Yeah, although Abreu's like tearing the cover off the ball right now.
Yeah.
He just hit his 9th homer today. Like he's on pace to hit like 38 homers.
So I mean, I'm not I don't think we should trade Abreu.
No.
It's like we're gonna have to trade somebody.
But if just to answer your question, like right now, what am I doing? Right now, Toro's gone. Mm-hmm. Devers is playing first base. I don't give a fuck what conversations they had. I don't care about the whole like, I play third thing. Like I don't care.
Yeah.
You're playing first base, and I'm bringing Roman Anthony up and putting him at the DH spot.
Yeah.
I think I'm probably bringing, in the near future, I'm making preparations for doing the Marcelo Meyer thing too. Mm-hmm. Because I think you're right. Your point about like what is this team's identity, sans the big three being up.
Yeah.
They're going to be up at some point. Like they're untradeable for a reason. The reason that they keep saying that these guys are not for sale is because they want them to be a long-term part of the team. Mm-hmm. That's probably number 2. Hunter Dobbins being somewhere in that pitching staff at the major league level.
Like permanently, yeah.
I think so. Yeah. I mean, again, like the bullpen, guys going from starter to bullpen isn't just like an easy switch to make, but having him available to throw as a long reliever is useful, and the bullpen's been real bad. So having any quality arms, With
the bullpen, I think a big solution there is we just got to find a way to put Luis Guerrero back in the bullpen. He was only pitched 4 innings, but he was really nice. He pitched really well last year. He pitches really well in AAA. He's like I think he's like a filthy pitcher. His fastball is incredibly like it's incredible. I think that he would be a better fit than it's hard to like suggest who goes down. I'm backing off on Newcomb because he actually did a really good job mopping up yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think that
he can't. Where did he come from?
Newcomb?
Yeah.
He was free. He was a minor league free agent signing.
But he played in the major leagues.
I think in Atlanta and Oakland.
Oakland is who I'm thinking of. Yeah, that's right, Oakland.
Yeah.
He's such an Oakland guy. That's such an Oakland. That's such an
Oh,
Oakland.
and the Cubs actually.
Okay, he's been around.
I pitched for the.
That's such an Oakland Athletics player.
He won a World Series in Atlanta. That's funny.
Huh. Don't remember that. So what would you do if you had to change anything that I said?
I think I understand why the Red Sox want Masataka Yoshida to play the outfield. At the same time, I think it's really stupid to prioritize that.
Bro, yeah.
I actually think DFA Toro, demote Hamilton.
Yeah.
Call up Roman Anthony and activate Yoshida, move Rafael to that super utility position that we've talked about. And then there will have to be another move later in the season to make room for Meyer if that opportunity presents itself. And then I'd probably option somebody in the bullpen. Maybe, I don't know if Winkowski's currently up with us or if he's in Worcester, but
I don't know.
Make room for Luis Guerrero. Those are probably the things that I would want to do.
Hey, what's the deal with Cutter Crawford? Where is he in his...
That's a great question. I believe he's getting closer and closer to a
because it'd be nice to have him back,
It would actually be really nice to have him back. Wow, there's zero new information about Cutter Crawford right now.
Yeah, I mean, he's unfortunately one of those players that's not really a big name, so the news isn't going to cover, like Boston
Well, also,
media.
I think his knee injury is significant enough that there's not, I think, what's up, Jordan?
You're good. You're good.
I guess Cora's saying that he's not there yet with his knee injury.
Damn, it'd be great to have him back.
I know. All right. So, we're pretty worked up about the Red Sox. Let's talk about Major League Baseball news as a whole.
Yeah, I definitely want to start with Oakland because we brought it up.
Well, they're not Oakland.
Yeah, well, right.
The A's are nice.
Yeah, they have a really good young core.
Yeah.
They have Luis Severino spinning it on the mound.
I think we will tell, we will know if the Athletics are legit after this next run of games they play. They have coming up, they're playing the Yankees, the Dodgers, and the Giants.
Right.
In a row. I think if they come out of that and they're still competitive, they're not 500, then I think that, this team is legitimately a contender to make the playoffs, and we got to be worried about them.
Yeah.
That rotation is also sneaky good.
Yeah, bro. I really like the Severino pickup a lot. And they have Soderstrom, who's got 11 bombs, 12 bombs.
Yeah. Brent Rooker is, again,
sick. Butler is sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're great.
Yeah.
They're a fun team.
The Royals have heated up. They're 8-2 in their last 10. They're now a game behind the Guardians.
And they have guys. The Royals have heated up, and they have guys that aren't hitting yet. Well yet. Jonathan India hasn't gotten going yet.
So they're a game behind the Guardians, and they're 2 games behind the Tigers.
Yeah.
I think the Royals getting hot is it's very bad for us.
Yeah, I do think though, just because divisionally we always see this when one division is super competitive, even though the way the schedule has changed a little bit, one of those 3 teams will taper off. Because they play each other more. So they're going to run into a buzzsaw at some point.
It's really amazing that the Guardians are so good as they are, and they have a negative run differential.
It's bizarre. It's also weird that of all the good teams we played, we beat them away in a series.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
This whole thing makes no sense.
Yeah.
There was, I guess, on Tuesday, the Cubs-Giants game ended weirdly.
I didn't see that.
So this is from the Athletic. So just reading directly from the article, the final result was the Giants defeating the Cubs 14-5, but it could have ended 5-3 or 5-4 about half an hour earlier. It could have ended up as a brutal 6-5 loss with a broken bat hit in the 9th or 10th inning, but that would have been a standard bullpen meltdown. The Giants scored 9 runs in the 11th inning, which is
what the fuck?
The most runs the Giants have scored in any single extra inning in franchise history. It's tied for the most runs the Giants have ever scored in extra innings, period.
Wow.
With the previous games happening in 1929 and 1940.
Whoa.
And it's the most runs ever scored in extra innings at Wrigley Field, which has seen 843 regular season extra inning games.
How was it? Just home runs? Like,
That's actually the best part. Cubs reliever Ryan Presley allowed all of those runs without recording a out and out.
Ryan Presley gave up all those runs?
Without recording a single out, which makes him the first pitcher to do so since Hank Baroy, I don't know that guy's name, from the 1951 Tigers.
Bro, that like his career, his season ERA is like cooked.
Yeah, I mean,
like,
yeah.
Bro, wait, I have to check what his ERA is now. That is fucking brutal.
Triston Casas entered the game in the top of the 11th as a pinch runner for Lamont Wade Jr. And then, because the Giants bat around, Casas would later bat in that inning, making him the first player in San Francisco history to enter the game as a pinch runner and then get a plate appearance.
Bro,
Actually, that's happened for the New York
fuck?
Giants, too. Yeah, so that was Tuesday's game against the Giants and the Cubs.
Dude, his last appearance before this game was May 1st. He had a 2.08 ERA. He now has a 7.62 ERA.
Fuck! Holy shit.
That is so brutal.
I hate to laugh. I mean, that's devastating.
That's brutal, man. Why did they leave him in? That's fucked up.
It is fucked up.
Oh, that's fucked up. Just put a position player in there.
The Cubs must have had a bullpen deficit that day or something.
Put a fucking position. Make Kyle Tucker throw. Like, come on. That's bullshit.
That's unbelievable. I mean, the Giants don't play around.
No, they're good, bro. The whole NL West is crazy except for Colorado.
Yeah. And Verlander pitched that game. I forgot Verlander's on the Giants.
Wow.
Yeah.
Tough.
That's...
I got a weird one for you. How about the Dodgers having such a good record and still being dominant even though they're not playing well? Have you watched a lot of Dodgers
baseball? Making a lot of errors, yeah.
Bro, it's weird. Like they're giving up a lot of like late inning home runs and getting the games tied and then winning in extras.
Their rotation has pitched the least number of innings of any rotation in baseball.
So weird.
It's really the Dodgers. It's so strange. I don't think we have time to unpack all.
No, for sure. But yeah, I think they're 25-12, but they've been playing. Yeah, they're 5-5 in their last 10. And it's just like
I just can't believe the Giants did that to Ryan Presley.
Crazy. That seems fucked up, man. That's not cool. Who
I think
cares?
we've set the record for the most fucks on Not From Boston with this episode.
Let's go.
Which is truly the most from Boston thing we could do.
Yeah, dude. That's never going to change.
All right, you want to do Rose and Thorn?
Sure, I'll go first.
Yeah, go for
it. I've decided that for Thorn, if I'm talking about a player performing badly, in lieu of what we said a couple weeks ago, I'm going to use it as a motivational Thorn.
Okay.
So I hope that I can pull the Thorn out.
Okay. All right.
Jock Peterson has been struggling.
Yeah.
He's starting to pick it up. He had 2 hits today. He had a hit yesterday. I think it was his first hit in 40 at-bats. I think he had an 0 for 41, and he has 2 RBIs in, I think he's got over 100 at-bats now. I think Jock Peterson's a great hitter. I love when he's hot, he's fun. He goes, yeah! Like he's kind of a goofball. He wears the pearls. I want Jock Peterson to get hot. So my Thorn is a motivational Thorn. Not that he'll ever hear this, but I hope that you get out of this slump. You keep raking. But he's been struggling real bad, and it's a bummer. So my Thorn is to Jock Peterson. Pull that Thorn out. Get back to doing what you do. My Rose, I have a few circulating my head, and I didn't pick one before this, and I had 3 written down. I mentioned him earlier, but my Rose is going to go to Jonathan India because he got smoked in the face by a fastball 2 weeks ago.
Shit.
And now he's back.
Great.
Got balls of steel, my guy. That's pretty sick. Oh, actually, you know what? I lied. You know what? I didn't want to do it, and I was thinking about I can't do it on a Red Sox podcast. I'm just going to do it.
You're going to do Aaron Judge?
Bro.
You bastard.
That guy, you know what? It just popped into my head. It was that guy looks like almost impossible to get out.
It's really Barry Bonds vibes, minus the steroids.
What the fuck is going on?
I think
the guy is
he does this every year.
This is different.
Act surprised.
But this is different.
This
is different. He's hitting 420. His OPS is 1.7.
Dude,
420. What? Yeah, tight. But what is happening? The Yankees are not even that good. He's basically just put them on his back, and it's in the past he's been good. He'll hit 305 the first few games, half of the season. He's hitting astronomically better than everybody else.
No, I think, Aaron Judge, like, I cannot deny, like, game recognizes game. That guy's a beast.
He's hitting balls off the end of the bat at 100 miles an hour
Yeah.
over the fence. Like, I've never seen that. It's like him and Ohtani doing, like, ridiculous shit.
He's got 12 home runs so far this season.
Crazy, dude.
34 runs batted in, 412 batting average, 503 OPS, 772 slug.
Yeah, like, what's going on?
An OPS plus of 245.
That's what I'm talking about.
Or
Like,
40,
that's,
259.
There's
sorry.
a difference between, like, he does this every year and it's like, nah, this is crazy.
Yeah. I'm going to give my rose to the guy who has been living in Aaron Judge's shadow for 2 years now,
Okay.
Bobby Witt Jr.
Yeah, bro, he's
Because
a beast.
Bobby Witt Jr. has crazy good numbers too.
He's such a good baseball player.
And he's just like always overlooked. He's also just a great all-around player. He's a great
Yeah,
shortstop.
he steals bases.
I love that he's like
he has less of the wow factor than
Yeah.
Judge, but he's so good.
But it's because he's in KC. But I love that he is like their guy for
Yeah.
the foreseeable future, right? Yeah,
I think
like,
so. Yeah, I think they locked him up.
So I'm a big fan of. I just like how he plays the game. He's just a really good all-around talent. I
Yeah.
think it's really rare these days. The Red Sox have a couple of those guys, but it's really rare to have players that can, have all 5 tools. And
yeah.
he's clearly, what is his deal? Yeah, it's a 7-year extension signed through 2030.
Yeah.
My thorn, I want to give it to Alex Cora and Craig Breslow because I don't get the sense of urgency from them, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do it to the Boston weather.
Oh, yeah.
Stop fucking raining.
Yeah.
A, the Sox play like shit in the rain.
Yeah, and then we just have to miss. We have double headers and
B,
stuff.
rain delays and double headers suck. I don't think you understand how much I build my day around when the Sox are playing. And then to take that away from me is just like, it's unfair.
Yeah, it sucks. It's just nobody wants to watch that shit too.
Yeah.
Like, ball
No one wants to watch
sliding
a rain.
around everywhere.
Yeah, that's so
I'm like,
fun. And they don't want to be there either.
bro, I went to this game. I don't know if I mentioned this on the podcast, but I went to this game one year when I was living in Boston. I think it was 2018 is the year they won the World Series. In like late March, it was like an early series against Baltimore. It was 22 degrees and there's ice on the field.
Yeah, I've been to one of those like Fenway games.
It was such a Boston game. It was like, what the hell is this shit?
It really tests you. Like, how much do I love this team?
Yeah, it's brutal.
All right, so as always, that's our show. Thank you for watching and or listening. We're on Spotify, Apple, YouTube. Be sure to subscribe to our Substack to get this stuff directly in your inbox. And have a nice time.
Have a nice time.
Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day.
Yeah.
Hopefully when we see you
tell
guys,
your moms you love them.
hopefully when we see you guys next week, we'll be on like a 7-game winning streak.
Yeah, that'd be
We
awesome.
started one today.
All right, peace.
Nice.